You will never get a high paying job if you don't understand these three principles. What are these three principles? First, try to understand that. Number one principles to get success is never play with strategies and approaches. Number two principle is if you find a difficulty, don't change your direction. Number three principle is success requires sacrifices. Now let's try to understand these three principles with the help of an example if you want to get a high paying job, because these three examples applies if you want to get a job, if you want to start a business, or if you want to get successful in any domain of your life. So let's try to understand with the help of an example. The case study which I am going to give you is a mountaineer whose name is Ravi Chandran, who is famous for climbing Mount Everest for 3 times. Yes, I was actually attending a training, and when I was attending a training, in that training the trainer shared this story. And what I have learned from this story, what are the three principles I have learned from this story? The same principles I am going to share with you guys. Okay, so there was a mountaineer whose name was Ravi Chandran. When he was trying to climb Mount Everest for the first time, he said, before understanding the three principles, you need to understand there are two types of people. The number one type of people is who are able to get successful, and the number two type of people is who are just willing to get successful. Means they have a wish to get successful, but they are not ready to do anything to get that success. And the number one type of people is who already get the success. So what's the basic difference between a person who have got the success and the person who is never able to get a success in his life, right? Because the person who have got the success, they have followed these three principles, and the person who have never got a success in his life, they never follow these three principles. So what are the three principles? Let's try to decode them one by one. The number one principle is never play with strategies and approaches. Ravi Chandran was saying that many people who are able to climb Mount Everest and the people who are not able to climb Mount Everest is because the people who are able to climb it, they follow the strategies. The people who are not able to climb it, they do not follow the strategies. Like, what is the strategy? The strategy is, if you want to climb Mount Everest, then what do you need to do first? You need to divide your timing into 45 minutes, 15 minutes, 45 minutes, 15 minutes, 45 minutes, 15 minutes. What do I mean by that? 45 minutes you need to walk, 15 minutes you need to take a rest. Now, what is the strategy? 45 minutes when you are walking, you don't have to look at the peak of the top. Instead, you have to just keep on walking, keep on walking, keep on walking, keep on walking. And 15 minutes when you're taking rest, what do you need to do in that 15 minutes? First of all, you need to look at the peak of that top so that you get motivation. Number one step. Number two step is you need to relax your body in that 15 minutes. Number three step is you need to stretch your body on a constant basis. So what happens? Some people think, 45 minutes, I didn't get tired. So they keep on walking. So they keep on walking until unless they get tired. So they are waiting to get tired. And the people who are able to climb the Mount Everest, they follow the science, they follow the approach. Means they follow the step-by-step principle. They are not waiting to get tired. They know 45 minutes I need to walk. After 45 minutes, they need to take a rest. They know what they need to do once they take a rest. And the people who are not able to climb the Mount Everest, they think once I will get tired, then I'll take a rest. And because of that, what is happening? Because of that, their body is getting a lot of fatigue. And because of that fatigue, they are not able to consume the energy. They are not able to preserve the energy. Because they are not able to preserve the energy, they are not able to walk for a longer duration. At the end, they gave up. So the strategy is 45 minutes walk, 15 minutes take a rest. When you are taking a rest, look at the mountain. When you are walking, don't look at the mountain. When you are taking a rest, stretch your body. Don't forget to stretch your body and get motivated, right? So now, how it is important in life, how this principle is important to get a job. The same problem is happening with a lot of students. People are not aware about the strategies. They are just keeping on walking. Means they don't have a time to just sit and evaluate the direction in which they are walking, whether the direction will help them to get a high paying job or not. Let's say, for example, they are blindly just following the academics. If you're not from top IITs, if you're not from top IIMs, or if you're not from top engineering colleges or MBA colleges in our country, there is a high possibility that you're studying about the outdated technology. And in most of the companies are working on updated technologies. So you are not giving yourself enough time to sit and evaluate whether the subjects that you're studying, it is needed in the future or not. So what is the strategy? You are walking, you keep on walking, but take some time, evaluate yourself. The subjects that I am studying, is it really needed in the market? Because everyone is doing engineering, everyone is doing MBA. And even after doing MBA engineering, people are not able to get a high paying job. Most of the engineers are unemployed. Most of the MBA people are underemployed. So what is the reason? This is the main problem, because they are not following the number one principle. When they were walking, they are forgetting to take the risks, to reevaluate themselves and do the things that matters the most. That is, while climbing a Mount Everest, the thing that matters the most is taking rest, looking at the vision and stretching the body. The thing that matters most when you are looking for a job is reevaluate yourself whether the skills that you are learning, is it really needed in the corporate or not. This is the number one principle. What is the number two principle? Okay, again, Ravichandran said that when many people are walking towards the Mount Everest, what is the problem with many people? When you are walking on the Mount Everest, you will find a lot of glaciers on Mount Everest. बड़े-बड़े पहाड़ पत्थर आपको Mount Everest पे मिल जाते हैं. Then what is the problem with most of the people is, जब उनको बहुत बड़ा पहाड़ दिखता है, बहुत बड़ा पत्थर दिखता है, तो वो क्या करते, उस पहाड़ या उस पत्थर को कूद के जाने के बदले, एफर्ट्स लगाने के बदले, वो लोग क्या करते हैं, उसका एक अल्टरनेटिव डायरेक्शन फाइंड आउट करते हैं. They try to get an alternate direction, and because when they choose the alternate direction, they keep on evolving around the Everest for 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, figuring out कि height क्यों नहीं बढ़ रही है, altitude क्यों नहीं बढ़ रहा है. Dude, you need to understand that the way which you are following was the correct way. Just because you got some pathar in your way, instead of crossing that rock, you have changed your direction, and because you have changed your direction, you are just rotating around the mountain. This is the problem with most of the engineers. This is the problem with most of the students. Whenever life gives them struggle, whenever life gives them problem, instead of facing the problem, instead of overcoming the problem, they take some simple solution. And when they take some simple solution in their life, they just keep on rotating around. Number two principle. What is the number three principle? You need to understand what is the number three principle. The number three principle is success requires sacrifice. When Ravichandran reached at the surface of the Mount Everest, it was not the top of the Mount Everest, but it was the top surface of the Mount Everest. When he reached to the top surface of the Mount Everest, Ravichandran realized that he was not able to feel anything movement in his back and the shoulders. Okay, so what he did, he started stretching his back and he started stretching his shoulder. Because of that, he started feeling the movements. But he suddenly realized there is a total numbness in his fingers. So what he did, he removed his gloves, and when he removed his gloves, he realized that his fingers, the top of the fingers got frozen. And when he realized the top of the fingers got frozen, now he had two choices. Either to go down, come to the base camp, take a treatment for his fingers, or either keep on walking and go to the top. But you know what Ravichandran did? He realized that this is the time I have to take some sacrifice. This is the time I have to do some sacrifice. So what he did, he cut his top 1/3 of his fingers because it was already frozen. If he's not going to cut it, the same problem is going to happen to rest of the fingers also. So what he did, he sacrificed his 1/3 of the fingers. So if you look at him, you will realize out of his 10 fingers, 8 fingers, 1/3 part is cut. And that is the reason he was able to reach at the top. Success requires sacrifice. The problem with a lot of the people is they want to get a high paying job, but what they are ready to sacrifice? If you ask them, they are not ready to sacrifice their social media. They are not ready to sacrifice their entertainment. They are not ready to sacrifice their day-to-day life. And that is the reason, my dear friends, people are not able to get success. I hope you have learned a lot of things from these principles, because principles remain the same. Whether you want to climb Mount Everest, whether you want to get a job, whether you want to start a business, or whether you want to become successful in your lives. I hope these 3 principles you are also going to follow in your life, with which one day you can become successful, with which one day you can get a high paying job. I hope these strategies are definitely going to work for you. If you like this video, please share it to your friends, family, whoever needs to watch this video. Thank you so much.